Blessings, blessings, blessings. How are we? How are we today? Oh, where's my chat at? Jump in the chat if you're hanging out live. And if you're catching the replay, let us know you're on the replay. It's good to see you for day three. Day three is all about now deepening. It's now really firing off this nervous system, this central nervous system, firing off our neurology so we can start to create permanent change, so we can start to move through the ability to be able to access these states as we walk through life, to be able to awaken the first step. So then we can start to look at manifestation. We can start to look at how can we train, how can we prime our mind, how can we prime our body to be able to create what we want. So for this one in particular, what up, fam? See you, Cass. What's up, Sil? What's up, fam? Good to see you guys in the chat. So as we move into a busy period, what we're really looking at doing is going, how do we take care of this central nervous system? How do we take care of this mind, this body? But then also, how do we move into who we want to be? How do we awaken who we want to be? So as we awaken this level within us, over time, between doing this, sleeping, other things in life, we can start to really foster the neurological connections, the understanding, the being, the person that we want to be, and we start becoming it. We'll talk a little bit about this today. This is going to be heavily on tomorrow. Today's the bridge. So today's that bridge of I've been consistent for a couple of days. Now it's like, cool, let's get through this consistency. The consistency is what's building the strength, building that repertoire of connections in the mind and body to be able to do this effortlessly. And then tomorrow we kind of go, cool, how do we now look at manifestation? How do we look at the tie off? So as we go through a Christmas period, as we go through any period in the future, we can step into this space. We already have the vessel of who we can be, who we want to be, who we are. And from having that, we can step into that whenever we want. And then eventually that just becomes the new operating system. That person becomes who we want to be and who we are. And looking at the next step, what's the next step for what we can be? And we can keep evolving and growing. So big love, fam, if we're enjoying it. Please let us know that you're enjoying it. Outside of that, let's do this. So today's about consistency. Cuss. Just see Kaz in the chat. Today's about consistency. So consistency looks like this. Every time we do this process, and any other process you could ever want to do in your life, whether it's meditating, whether it's sleeping, whether it's shooting a basketball, whether it's, I don't know, playing games on a computer. It's not, every time we do a process, we fire off neurons. Every time we do a new process, we're firing off new neurological connections. This is very powerful for an adult human being. This is very powerful for humans in general. Every time we do something new, we fire off new neurons. This is new information. This is new memory forming in the brain and body. Then when we sleep at night, we integrate that new information, those new connections. So we sit here, we meditate, we go through the effort. Like there might be some times where it's like, man, this is like, I'm finding it hard to transcend. I'm finding, man, what thoughts keep coming. Sometimes we transcend and then sometimes we might not transcend. And in those processes, all that effort, the joy, the excitement, all of this fires off chemicals in our brain and body. As we're firing off those chemicals, when we sleep at night, we start to go, cool, this is the parts of the memory that we want to keep. This is the parts of the information that we want to store, which now becomes reflexive. This becomes natural. This is how we get good at meditating. This is how we get good at the quantum transcendence method. We meditate in the day, we practice, we build these connections, we put effort into it, we excitement, we hit transcendence, we get all excited and giddy and like, yeah, this is cool, I'm in transcendence. Then what happens at night? Welcome, welcome, Louise. Then what happens at night? When we sleep, we take that information and we start to store it in the back of the brain. We start to store it in this reflexive system that we have. And then over time, our ability to just transcend, our ability to meditate, our ability to access calm spaces, our ability to be logical in times when it's chaos, aka driving, looking for parking, when it's in the shops trying to find the right gift. Whatever you're doing, however you're doing, our access, and I don't want to say yours here, I want to say ours because this is a human experience here. Our access or our ability to access these states of calm, this state of peace, clarity, it becomes stronger. And then as it becomes stronger, next minute, yeah, you're running a business and you're crushing it there. You've got family going. You can handle so much more flexibility or so many more challenges. Why? Because we're just building our ability to deal with. Does this make sense? Hold it in the chat if this makes sense. So this is the purpose. So today's about transition. Today it's about consistency. Today's about just keep building these connections. It's practice, practice, practice. Now, one thing I really love, I'm going to say this again, one thing I really love about this method is we can build this resilience. We can build this bulletproof mindset without having to, man, put in crazy amounts of effort of like smashing the gym. Even if you wanted to get really good at a topic, let's say you came and you jumped on and you learned all these coaching modalities. You got to learn life coach, you got to learn master coach, you got to learn, let's say, meditation, you've got to learn NLP. That's everything else around it, right? That takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. As in, we're sitting there, we've got to learn, we've got to watch videos, we've got to practice, it's learn, practice. Same as if you want to get good at in the gym, you just got to lift and then rest and lift and rest. There's a lot of effort involved there, where with this one, we just sit here in silence. We just sit here in stillness. We just access pure awareness. And as we're accessing this, we're creating this massive repertoire of skill sets in our brain and body, accessing peace, living longer. Um, well, I just had a my blank. Living longer. We've got, what else is there? Our ability to perform better. So our flexibility to expand, like we were talking about yesterday, expand our ability to handle more in our current life. You've got better relationships, better parenting skills, like everything that we could think that we would want to be better at in life. Between doing this and sleeping, we will improve it 100%. Just by meditating for 20 minutes a day, sleeping well at night, as in QQRT. If you haven't done this, we've got trainings coming up. I will just say, just type quantum in the chat. We've got a quantum manifestation event coming up in a couple of weeks. If you do want to join that, just type quantum and we'll flick you a link. We'll talk about this tomorrow. You can come for free, by the way. You can come for free. That's totally cool. This will be about how do we bridge then this transcendence into manifestation. Now, the idea of this is if we just sleep and meditate every day, 20 minutes meditation, like in bed, do it 5 times a week. You don't have to be crazy 2 times a day. Like you don't have to go all the way out. You can if you want, but just, 5 times a week, 7 times a week, meditate, sleep well, QQRT, make sure it's quality, quantity, regular, and make sure the timing's similar. If you can hit that, the quality of our life, as in this is now the human experience, our life goes up. You can't put a number on it. The quality of life, it just blows up amazingly, amazingly. Again, you couldn't say tenfold because it's better than tenfold. So the idea is consistency. If we can keep consistency, this is one method that is guaranteed to improve the quality of our life. Consistency. So tomorrow we're going to talk about, tomorrow's a big session. Tomorrow we'll talk about manifestation. How do we start to link this experience with manifestation? How do we link this with becoming who we want to be? So then we can start really stepping into that person in our world. This is how we take, ready? So as we do transcendence, let's say our maximum capacity in life is this. Like that's where we're at. That's our neurological limits. As in if we push past that limit, we're outside of comfort. We're outside of what's congruent. We're outside of what's normal, reflexive. That's our limit. What happens is as we start to access states of manifestation, we start to expand this. And as we expand this, this is how we then bring in new experiences. This is how we can add more money to our income or to our life. This is how we can find, let's say we only ever used to this type of relationship and we start to expand our system. As we expand our system, this is where we can attract new love. This is where we become new parents. This is how we manifest. This is how we create growth. This is how we create more experiences. Anyways, big love, fam. Let's do this. Are we ready to roll? Give me some yeses. Jump straight into it today. What time? We're straight into it. Straight into it today. We'll hang out a little bit more tomorrow and we'll talk. If you have any questions tomorrow, we'll handle the questions. But today, straight into the experience. Are we ready? Give me some yeses. Bring it. Alrighty. So today, consistency. Let's just keep up. There's going to be points where it's like, you know what? Today's going to be a little bit more effort to be able to do this process. Totally cool. This is the day we do it. This is the day we go, cool. If you need the help, just come on one of these videos, jump on one of these videos. Man, let's go straight into it there. If you need the support, if you want to come live, you join us live, however, we just do it. Alrighty, fam. So let's do this. Today we'll do 3 minutes of brain heart coherence. Remember, so we just place our attention on our heart. Breathe in the nose for 4 seconds, out for six, out the mouth for six. So we're going to do that for 3 minutes, followed by a mantra for 20 minutes. Again, if you don't have your mantra, there'll be a link in the description. Just jump through the initiation. Once you go through the initiation, you'll get your mantra. Once you have your mantra, then you can jump back in here, or just do this with Soya, Soya, Soya. So you just sit there in silence in your mind saying Soya, Soya. And if you have your mantra, say your mantra. We'll go through that for 20 minutes. So we'll do our 20-minute mantra. And then after that, we'll be on our day, on our evening, on our morning. Get at it, go do your thing at the best you can be. And then we'll pop in tomorrow and we'll go deeper. So just get comfortable where you are. You can have your feet on the ground, your legs crossed. Try not lie down. Sitting up, you can have your back supported. And just remember, if thoughts arise, that's totally cool. As you go through this, when thoughts come, just bring your attention back. If we're doing brain heart coherence, bring your attention back to your heart. If we're doing the mantra, just bring your attention back to your mantra. Try not allow the emotions to take over as these thoughts come, and then judge or have a feeling of that thought. If you feel yourself being pulled into that thought, into that experience of that thought, just bring it back, pause it, breathe, mantra, mantra. Just bring it back to your mantra. So again, close your eyes and then slowly start to breathe in the nose for 4, and then out for 6. In for 4, and bring your hand to your heart, or maybe your finger. Just tap your heart. As you continue that breathing cycle, place your attention, your awareness on your heart. All of your attention, all of your awareness on your heart. Allow your mind and body to become one and relax, bringing it back to its most optimum self. If your mind wanders, just start to tap your heart or put pressure on your heart and bring your attention back there. Breathing in for 4, out for 6. Slow breaths with your attention on your heart. Or your attention or your awareness on your heart. Now, place your hands in your lap and bring your attention to your mantra. Start saying your mantra slowly, effortlessly in your mind. And I'll see you on the other side in 20 minutes. And now come back down into your body. Be aware of your mind. Be aware of this moment. Be aware of your hands, your feet, your fingers and your toes. Wiggle them and jiggle them. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. Pop in the chat how you feel. Another session. Consistency. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy how it feels. Enjoy, I find for consistency, um, one of the greatest moments is being able to experience it first. So experiencing transcendence, right? Experiencing the quantum transcendence that we go through. And then going, cool, I get the experience, I get how I feel, and I really would love to feel that way a lot, if not most of the time. Yet the journey is going, understanding where I feel now, which is not transcendence, which may be stressed, maybe burnt out, maybe overwhelmed, nervous systems heightened, fight or flight, understanding that moment and going, understanding the logical journey, the emotion, the feeling journey of when I'm here, just by going through this process, I can tap into that area. So just by getting my 20 minutes in, and for some people you might hit it in 3-4 minutes. So boom, and you ride that wave. Another great session. Perfect, perfect. You might be able to ride that wave for 3, 4, 5 minutes, and sorry, get into it in 3, 4, 5 minutes, 9 minutes after practice, practice, practice. But then knowing that that 20-minute journey, where we pop at the end of that, that's the joy. Um, when we anchor that in, so when we start to go, when we start to really understand it, that, right now I woke up, maybe not feel the greatest in the morning. So then you go, cool, if I do this session, I'm going to feel better. Or it might be at nighttime. It might be 7 o'clock at night. You're sitting there, your kids are in bed, or 8 o'clock, kids are in bed. You've done your thing. Dinner's cleaned, everything's sorted, right? You're like, yeah, but my brain is still firing. I'm stressed. I'm like, I'm getting pulled in all different directions. You're like, cool, sit down and go, cool. I know that in this moment, if I just sit here, do my 3 minutes of brain heart coherence, do my 20 minutes of my mantra, at the end of that, it's going to feel amazing. And then I'm going to be able to drop into a beautiful sleep. I won't be waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning stressing about something. I won't be, maybe even, you have your partner and it's like you might have an argument or something, and then I won't be hammering my partner in my mind whilst I'm trying to sleep, just by getting this 20 minutes in. So it's really anchoring, consistency is really anchoring in the joy of the process, the joy of the journey, from getting from where we are in a state where we may not want to be, all the way to where we want to be. If we work on this and we do this daily and we practice this daily, and it's that, like, even if you did it 3, 4, 5 times a week, 6 times a week, however much you can do it, do it 14 times a week. It's, man, 14 times a week, you're pro level. However long you do it, for how many times, but every time you do it, being able to go, oh yeah, wow, that's how it felt. Oh yeah, wow, how that's felt. Oh, what? And you keep remembering that process. The more we remember that, this is tomorrow's session, the more we start to actualize that in the world. This is now manifestation. So big love to you. Be well. Go about your evening, go about your day, go about your morning. Do what you do. Big love to you. I'll see you same place, same time tomorrow. Tomorrow we go through, let's look at integration and integrating into manifestation. So how do we create the world we want? How do we become the person who we need to be that creates that world? This is tomorrow. So big love, fam. I hope you enjoyed today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Peace out. Be well. I'll catch you. Bye-bye.